Win big in the tournament. Common courtesy.
Probably a lot more common in the US though. I would think, Norman.
Yes, standard in the U.S. And I mean, tipping standards are different all over the world, and but certainly at the poker table, at the tournaments, it is standard to tip them. Even sometimes some of the events now take money out to include the deal, and you still tip them on top of that money if you wish, if you want to.
I think actually it was Patrick Antonius who, he was a big online player in the when he first came to the United States and played poker, had some tournament success. I think he wasn't aware of how much was usual for tipping. I think somebody misled him, and he said that he in the first few tournaments he tipped, it was really way more than he actually had needed to or should have. I think that was Patrick. Might have been someone else, but I think it was Patrick.
Yeah, the tipping amount is actually very small. I mean, it's probably, people give you different numbers, but in the U.S., you'll often tip like 3%
yeah,
of
somewhere
your winnings.
between 2 to 5%.
Yeah, right in that area, anywhere from 2 to 5. 3 is pretty standard.
Small pot brewing between Afshin and Daniel turns the nuts.
That is straight.
Daniel, of course, has a pair and a gut shot.
Yeah, heads up. That's a pretty good-looking board for him, but
Well,
smooth call by Afshin.
Deuce of Hearts on the river.
Exactly the river Afshin wants to see there.
yeah, he knows he now holds the stone-cold nuts to the hand.
Daniel checks. How much can I get out of Daniel? That is what Afshin is thinking.
In this exact spot 4 years ago, in a home game, I bet 850,000.
Oh, you're a pro. Pro bet size.
Just tell you what I did.
And well, Afshin bets a little more.
Idiot.
One point. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, well. 1 point, actually 0.00000, 1 million exactly.
It's close enough to what I would have bet, so I should not have called him.
Yeah, and
an
he
idiot.
got more value than you did,
Yeah, he
Norman.
did. He got an extra 150,000.
So who's the idiot now?
And the gloves are off. After we've been confined to the same area for 200 hours.
Yeah, now taking bets. Stig versus Norman. Fist fight after this.
Well, we're about the same height. I'm a couple of years younger.
Yeah,
but,
I only win a fight when the other guy doesn't show up.
yeah.
I'm an underdog to anyone.
So, here we go. Champion gets 22,780 euros more than the other three. But still, here we see the trophy to the right and the slippers.
No, that last hand, again, tighten us up chip-wise again, as Afshin picking up an extra million with his value bet on the river, taking away from Daniel. It's a pretty tight foursome.
And Atle gets a walk. And the big blind. Everyone seems pretty relaxed right now.
Yeah, the four-way chop might have had contributed to that.
And again, from a competitive standpoint, and if I'm watching it, because it does change the dynamic of the play, I prefer it when they haven't chopped, because just the stress level's a little higher, the tension's a little higher in terms of every move you make, and the money means something. So it changes the type of play you get for the rest of the event.
Folded round to, well, a round is kind of not correct to say when there are 4 players left. Well, Daniel on the button, ace queen, he races. Up the folds in the small blind. 600,000 raised from Daniel. And Afshin shows some folds, 7-3. And Daniel shows the ace.
It's just the pressure's off when you make the chop. And actually, I'm reminded now this weekend the U.S. Masters golf is being played. And they always talk about the pressure of making a big putt on the 17th or 18th hole, the 72nd hole at Augusta, with all the money on the line. And Lee Trevino, one of the great golfers of all time, he's famous for saying that's not pressure. He says pressure is when you're playing $100 Nassau and you only got $25 in your pocket. And that's what he was used to playing. He's right. There's a big difference. He says those are pressure putts relatively, because you want to win the Masters and you're on a national and international stage. But when you're playing for your own money, that's even more pressure. And that applies here, I believe, as well, because when there was a big difference between 4th place and 1st place money, there's more pressure to every move you make.
Folded to Afshin in the small blind, and we have another walk. So that's a second walk in 100 orbits. And if this is going to be the tendency, then we could be here for quite a while.
Yeah, terrible dealer. Bring back Clara from Austria.
Oh, yeah, that's an action dealer.
Clara aus Österreich.
Ah, sehr gut, sehr gut.
I was trying to do the Austrian accent, but it's a little different from German. In some parts of Austria, it's very different from German. But I mean, they are very grateful in parts of Austria if you even attempt at speaking the native tongue.
Austria,
I'm
of
coming
course.
all in.
Yeah.
And guess who? 7-6 suited for Atle, and he might prove me wrong about what I just said about sitting here for hours, but still he gets through. So he open shoved the 7-6 suited.
He open shoved?
He open shoved.
Yeah, that's a play for you.
Under the gun. That's a play for you. Yeah, certainly.
The pressure.
That's one way to be sure you only get called by a better hand.
Yeah, the pressure is indeed off. I think we'll see some action plays now.
Yeah, well, it's fun, and he promised an entertaining final table, and of course it has been during these first levels. Very nice guy, very friendly. Like I suspected, even though his stare is scary. Vegard on the button, Jack 5 suited. He's gonna raise, and now he doesn't have Asbjørn. 2 seats to the left of him. Now it's this guy. And he folds, and whoops. Well, didn't really matter much because they were the only 2 people left in the tournament. So, Vegard stacking up his chips. He will be first to act. opens to 600,000. King 10. So Daniel, he folded the ace deuce on the button. After falls a small blind. To option in the big blind. He called, and the flop comes a 10 king ace. 2 pair for Vegard. A pair of 10s. And they got just straight draw for option. Who checks? Vegard bets. 600,000. Option calls. 6 of spades on the turn. Check from option. Yeah, you still have 2 pair.
How could he forget? I mean, it wasn't that long ago he looked the first time.
Now he checks behind.
I didn't expect that.
Me neither. And the ace on the river. Both players with 2 pair. They got with aces and kings. Option checks. Do you think that Vegard could find a value bet here, Andreas?
Yeah.
Yeah. You said yeah when you saw him reaching for his chips. That's cheating.
Just before that, actually.
So tiny value bet. I mean, that's not even a bet.
And he gets value. Wow.
Well, Vegard's 2 pair was counterfeited on the river, but still made a tiny value bet.
Well, I'm not sure if you can use counterfeited in that exact same situation because he still had the king playing. So, but you mean I understand what you mean, but his lower pair got counterfeited. Exactly. Is that correct, Norman?
Yes, you're correct. And you're correct to chide Andreas about his use of counterfeit there. I don't know which one you're asking me about.
Oh, well.
And I think that hand plays out differently if they hadn't made a 4-way chop. I'm sorry. I don't know how, but it would.
No, I understand.
Look how close these 4 are right now.
Yeah, they are.
The only thing I respect about that 4-way chop is that they waited until the guy who was trying to fold his way to the main event title got knocked out before we're the real players left here. Let's chop it 4 ways. See, look how casual he looks now. That's not championship mode. You know, it's like he's playing Mahjong. You ever play Mahjong? That's how you look when you play Mahjong. I used to run over the Mahjong game in Silver Spring, Maryland. Most of the other players were women in their 80s. But it's a game for all ages, and I just had a smarter feel for it.
So, 2 players to the flop, 9, ace, 7, rainbow. They got with holding the jack 8, checks, after checks the king 10, behind 4 of diamonds on the turn, hopeless still best with king high, check check, deuce of diamonds on the river. This is case of bet and take it, I think. And Vegard, he gives up. And Atle takes it down with king high. So 4 players remaining at the final table here in the Norwegian Championship. We will be right back after a short break.
Norge skal ikke til Brasil, men det skal Jon Arne, og du kan bli med. Delta i Rises fotballquiz. Betsson. Alt kan skje.
PokerStars har flere spillere enn noen annen side. De største turneringene, med de største premiepottene. Over 35 000 turneringer hver dag. Vi er poker. På PokerStars finner du flere hvor, flere spillere Flere spill enn noen annen pokerapp. Vi er mobile. Vi er poker.
Du har stålkontroll på kampen. Du vet hvordan hjemmelaget vokser med oppgaven. Du kjenner deres angrepstaktikk. Du har studert dommerens personlighet, keeperens redningsprosent og straffeleggerens iskalde nerver. Du vet helt enkelt hva som vil skje. Men noen ganger skjer det usannsynlige. Derfor lanserer NordicBet nå ekstrasjansen. Kampene finner du på nordicbet.com.
We are back at the final table of the Norwegian Championship main event. 4 players remaining, and they have agreed to a chop. They each get 80,000 euros each, and the winner gets a little more than 20,000 more. Also gets the trophy and the slippers. Still joined by Norman Chad and Andreas Berge in the booth.
Hard to believe Vegard has not been the chip leader at any point in his final table. They're really closely stacked now. The other 3 have been chip leader here tonight. He has not.
Ace 10 suited from the small blind. They got races. Daniel with a pretty hand. 8-7 suited. Calls in the big blind. To the flop. Ace King 7. Pair of 7s for Daniel. Top pair for Vegard. Vegard first to act.
Making sure he got the right coffee before
Yeah,
continuing.
again, it's the national championship. I can't believe the coffee order takes precedence over your bet sizing.
Well, Daniel folds his pair of 7s, and Vegard takes it down. Well, where's the 80,000 euros? That's what Vegard is thinking. Not in your breast pocket.
So then it's not in his breast pocket. He won't be tipping at this point because he hasn't been paid those 80,000 euros. That's wrong.
Strange that nobody wanted to buy Vegard a coffee. I think he gave at least one of the other players at this table a break by agreeing to the chop, so they should at least buy him a cup of coffee.
Well, he had the least amount of chips at that point.
Pay that no mind. He's the most experienced table player at the table.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the other 3 players at
They
the
could
table.
buy him a cup of coffee, Andreas.
Yeah, but they might not feel the same way. They might not feel that Vegard is a better player.
So this is why I'm always sad to pay for dinner down here when we are eating together.
Yeah, you're getting it.
Yep. Do you have any? No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say neutral. Okay. So, folded to Daniel. Jack 8 suited in the small blind. It's going to open. Queen 10 suited for Atle. And we've seen that he tends to like these hands. And he calls. King 6-10. Pair of 10s for Atle. Daniel first to act. He is gonna see bet.
Look at this poker posture. See, that doesn't correct poker posture. He's like he's no longer in a poker event. He's sitting there, you know, planning his summer holiday or thinking about a bank heist.
5 of spades on the turn.
Give Daniel credit. At least he looks like he's there to play poker.
Check, check, and Daniel hits a jack on the river. Now he has the best hand. Looks like, well, 6 650 maybe. Exactly 650.
Atle has to call.
Yeah, he called. So he got some value. Hit the jack on the river. And Atle shakes his head. Well, you checked the turn, sir, when he gave you the initiative. So that means Daniel plays a little more chips than the other guys. Atle is a bit down now. 10.3 million for Daniel. Atle, the shortest stack at the table, by no means short stack, plays 7,600. Vegard and Afshin, both above 9.5 million. Vegard in first to act, folds.
At least he still looks like he's in position to play poker. He's sitting upright. Same with Daniel. He's in position to play poker. This is what you're supposed to look like. Oh, he's picked it up a little. Thank you. Poker posture is very important.
Ace 5, and he's all in from the small blind. Quick fold from Afshin, because I guess Atle's been listening to this stream, Norman. I mean, he knows that they never have anything in the big blind. Open shoves from the small blind. The weak ace, but of course, short-handed. A weak ace is a lot stronger in a hand like Atle's than at a full ring table. But then again, I mean, he's only going to get called by a bigger hand, and a hand that could potentially dominate him with the ace. So I think it's kind of risky, but he is at the final table in the main event of the Norwegian Poker Championship, so I could be wrong.
Oh, but that's kind of Atle's style. He puts the maximum amount of pressure on every spot.
Two players to the flop. Top pair for Afshin. Race from the small blind. Vegard called with a queen tray suited. Oh, they actually both checked. So Afshin checked top pair.
Tricky play by Afshin here. Probably looks to get one value bet in.
Yeah, but they got folded on Afshin's turn bet, I think.
I think you're right. For once.
I was waiting for that one. Yeah. I was expecting it to come from Norman.
No, I was looking to see if there was a blue moon outside.
We are about to have some blood moons, though, aren't we? I think it's April 15th, something.
Blood moons? I don't even know what that is.
Oh, thank you. I thought I was the only one who didn't know what that was.
Yeah, Google it.
Okay. Why don't you Google? It's cherry blossom season right now in Washington, D.C. Why don't you Google that?
Once again, folds to the small blind. Vegard this time. King 9. He opens. Looks like Daniel is, well, he's not going to call.
What part of the year do the Swallows come to San Juan Capistrano? Do you know? I'm going to keep going with these things until you tell me what that word, whatever you were talking about before. You haven't told us what that is. Lugus. What is it? Time of year for what?
What do you mean time of the year? It's autumn. Everybody knows.
Were you talking about the Swallows?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I wasn't speaking to you, sir. I was speaking to Andreas, who used some word that neither of us knew, and then he just sat on his high throne like, oh, I'm better educated, and I'm not going to educate you all.
Well, he's the kind of poker player who, he doesn't answer people's questions when they wonder about something. And
I can't show all my cards. I'm just saying.
Vegard with a raise from the button, holding queen 9. Up plays all in, ace 9 suited, and the quick fold from Vegard. And he shows.
Atle has really picked up the pace after they agreed to the chop.
Yeah, some pretty big shoves here.
I'm rooting for the Austrian right now as we have a dealer change. And as usual, I can never win.
Well, do you know for a fact that he's not Austrian?
No, but it's a qualified yes, I guess.
When I used to lose all the time at blackjack, now I win, but I'll never win back how much I lost during the 1990s. I deserved to lose because I had a superstition that I could not beat a left-handed dealer.
Oh.
And when a left-handed dealer sat down, I would either just get really frustrated or I'd get up in a storm and go to another table. But that's just stupid. I'm left-handed myself. But I figured, I still think about it now when I play poker because we have left-handed dealers, but I no longer have that stupid superstition. But that's just a stupid thing to think. You can't beat a left-handed dealer.
Vegard opens with ace jack from under the gun. Daniel folds. Atle, he calls with king queen out of the small blind. 5-6 suited for Afshin in the big blind, and here comes 3-bet.
Love it.
Quick fold. No, wait, hold on. And Vegard, he just snap folded ace jack. Yeah, he did.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he did. Snap folded ace jack, and Atle folded in the big blind. So, wow.
Whoa.
A beautiful play. I didn't think he could make both of them go away, and he did.
That's kind of surprising because, I mean, four-handed, of course, he had Atle behind as well, but still.
Another one of my Las Vegas guys, JT House, standing over the table right now. He looks like he should be in a casino running things, and he does.
So Afshin, actually now the chip leader at the table, started as the short stack when they sat down today, 8-handed. He then played 1.8 million. Now he plays more than 11 million.
In fact, the two short stacks from the starter play are still in action now. Daniel was second short stack when we started.
Vegard, not a big fan of pocket fives so far at this final table.
Atle raise from the button. And they got calls. You would expect at least a call. Flop comes for ace-3. 2 spades. They got checks.
Open-ended straight draw for Atle.
Yeah, he may offer at it. Why not?
They got it also with a straight draw, but he does not want to hit that straight draw.
Well, there are no more fives in the deck. Afshin folded a 5 out of the small blind.
I believe you are correct. Calls the bet to 1 million. 10 of diamonds on the turn. They got checks.
Wow.
Atle's all in. 6.735 million. And Vegard folds.
Power play by Atle.
Nice bluff
power.
shove.
Wow, power play, but still. Well, yeah, the flush draw, along with his open-ended straight draw, but still.
I love that play.
But don't you think he would have gotten the same result with a smaller bet? Well,
Not
He could-
necessarily.
he could, no, but still, he could have put himself in the difficult spot. I agree. You give Vegard a chance to play back at him, but they've been playing for a while now, and they should have noticed some tendencies. And the thing is, I mean, if he gets called, he is behind. Okay, he's got the flush and the straight draw, but still.
Yeah.
This
And
is-
the
and
thing
the-
is that Vegard needs at least an ace to call that move. And it's unlikely that he has it because he just called, but he might have had a weak ace. And Atle with that shove could also get a weak ace to fold. And if he gets called, worst case, he's got 15 outs or 14 or something. Yeah,
So we're
15.
talking about the sharp-dressed man in the background a few minutes ago, Norman.
JT house.
Well,
He reminds me of somebody that
He always reminds everybody of somebody.
where nobody can name him.
But he has something about his whole look just smells pit boss somewhere in the world. That he's going to be working in some casino and doing a darn good job.
Afshin with pocket jacks under the gun. He opens to 600,000. Fold around to Atle, queen 9 suited in the big blind.
Play ball. Yes, sir.
Norman gets his wish. He calls.
Vegard folds right there. Let's move along. Let's see what we got. Let's play ball.
8, queen 8. Pair of queens for Atle. He's now behind. Afshin, he checks. They both do. 5 of diamonds on the turn. Check, check. And the 9 of diamonds.
And Atle's gonna get value on the river here. No, he's not.
Oh, so he folded.
No, he called.
No, he called. He called.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a quick call.
Yeah. Snap call. Yeah, that would be the strangest fold I've ever seen if Afshin just decided to check fold his jacks there. But he
Yeah,
called.
the way Atle played the hand, it would have been very strange. Yeah.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Atle is our chip leader once again.
Well, I don't think you're too far out on that limb.
About 13 million.
Oh, now you got in particular. I was going to say that I don't know how big of a limb that is when you're determined that you can see he has the most chips of the 4. But now you're counting him down. If he's at 13 million, I'd be very impressed.
Vegard with pocket 9s. Under the gun. 600,000. Daniel folds. King queen for Atle in the small blind.
Yeah, look for the shove. And there you go.
Yeah, he's all in. Putting pressure on Vegard. Well,
I think he's going to call here, actually.
yeah, he calls. And a quick call.
Kind of has to.
Yeah, 4-handed,
Yeah.
pocket 9s, and he's under 20 big blinds.
So Vegard
Vegard should be happy to get a flip there.
Vegard is ahead with his pocket 9s, but he is the all-in player. And and as you can see from the percentages, not much separating the two players.
Atle is hurting.
Yeah, and the queen
not
on the
anymore.
flop. Two clubs still there, so. And also some backdoor straight draws, along with the backdoor flush draws for Vegard, but you would like to see a 9, and now a 9 and only a 9 to stay in the tournament. And the 9 of diamonds on the river. Oh, it couldn't have been scripted better. Wow.
They both take it very matter-of-factly and routinely. And they will swap chip positions with that miracle 9 for Vegard.
Wow.
And he becomes chip leader for the first time today. Yeah, he had to win that pot. If he got knocked out, he wouldn't be around to get his beverage.
So, Vegard and Igor, also known as Skaffel. He doubles up. And here we go. Still a lot of players following this final table here in Dublin.
Amongst them, Stein Smith.
Yes, that's Thor Hansen's friend.
Well, this is going to be Vegard's biggest payday. He's had so many successes and good results over the years, but until now, his biggest payday actually was in 2004 in a Las Vegas tournament, the 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. He finished second. It was a 3K buy-in, and he won 62,000 US. And of course, here he's now guaranteed 80,000 euro. Utley's taken a lot of blows to the head since starting the day as chip leader, and he has been up and down and up and down.
And to, if somebody has joined the stream recently and thinks this looks a little strange, the players, the 4 remaining players have agreed on a chop. Everyone guaranteed 80,000 euros, just a little more than 20,000 euros more than the other players for the winner, alongside with the title, the trophy, and the slippers. And well, Atle with the ace king, he's all in. Open shoves, the button, offsuit folds, and Vegard folds.
Too bad nobody else had anything there, because that looked like a complete steam move from Atle.
Yeah, unfortunate for Atle still. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you see Paul Weaver taking pictures, hovering around like a vulture, waiting for someone to bust. No, that's Paul. He's been taking pictures from the Norwegian Championship for a long time. I met him at my first Norwegian Championship in 2007. He's a very nice guy and an excellent photographer.
Yeah, my second wedding, I had a really bad feeling. So instead of a photographer, I hired a police sketch artist. And the feeling was justified. I was divorced in under a year.
Oh, he's all in with Jack 10. Well, under the gun, I think he just wants to get this over with now. I think he's had, if he feels that he's had so many blows, and it's been up and down, and I mean...
yeah, he's steaming. But as I understood, he's known for his steaming, so this is not the first time people see Atle steaming.
Okay, well, still keeps picking up chips doing this, because like Norman has taught me, it's hard to pick up a hand.
Now again, to Utle's credit, we haven't seen him really steam at this final table, to me. I mean, that might have been Maybe that shove at the Jack-10 would be the first time. I think he's still shown incredible discipline considering the blows he's taken. He's been more patient than you might expect.
But what do you think, Andreas? With we saw he had 21 big blinds. What do you think someone like Vega would have to call him when he open shows the 21 big blinds?
I was gonna say ace-10, but Vega needs at least ace-10. Some other
Oh, and here we go, because Daniel picked up a hand, ace-jack, and Snap calls Atlas all in. Atlas got 2 live cards, but still. Ace-jack suited for Daniel. Atlas, the all-in player, should he get lucky. Daniel won't be left with much behind. The flop, queen 4-7, 2 diamonds. So the nut flush draw for Daniel. 4 of hearts, no help to Atlas. He needs a 10 or an 8, or he'll be knocked out in 3rd place. And there's the 8 on the river.
It's a miracle.
Again.
And guess what? Atlas back in the chip lead.
So back and forth. And here's the smile back on Atlas' face. That's nice to see, but still very harsh for Daniel, who has been so patient. He's down to just 1.9 million right now.
What a roller coaster ride for Atlas. Up and down.
And
Tough break for Daniel, of course.
another miracle card on the river. So there you go. And this, I mean, even though we are on a 30-minute delay, this is live poker, final table, and stuff like this doesn't just happen online. That is a fact. So we see it. Atle Ulriksen, new chip leader, playing 13.8 million. Vega Nygård, 12.5 million. Afshin Alikani, 9.6 million. And Daniel Nesbakken, now below 2 million. Just 6 big blinds.
Yeah, undeserved crippling blow for Daniel there.
And he has played very well at this final table. It is by no means over. He still got chips. But, well, can't tell but feel sorry for him there. He got it in with the best hand, and it looked very good when 2 diamonds came on the flop. So Atle had to hit either 10 or an 8, and that's like... And he couldn't really hit the 10 or 8 of diamonds, so very unfortunate for Daniel. But I think he's going to get it in here with the 8-9 suited. And he does. Atle calls. And Afshin, queen 7. He wants to know how much before he folds his queen 7 offsuit.
Yeah, I thought he'd call with the queen 7.
Well, looked like he was about to fold, and then he kind of changed his mind and wanted to know how much. Well, it's going to cost him 1,500,000.
Daniel sure wishes he folds now after that double clutch.
But he calls. So Afshin ahead.
I'll actually take Daniel's hand any day of the week.
Yeah, okay, well, it's behind in the percentages right now, so you can take it any day of the week, and you're going to lose 51 out of 100 times.
Yeah.
Good point, Norman. 8-7 Trey. So Daniel, it's a pair of 8s. Afshin a pair of 7s. Another 8. And that does it for Daniel. He doubles up. And the Trey on the turn, full house for Daniel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything.
I know you're. I can see it. I mean, it's coming out of every orifice. If there's an orifice at your body, I don't know what orifice is, but again, what you want to do is the other day, I believe, you sprained your arm, patting yourself on the back, and now you want to sprain your other arm, patting yourself on the back, telling you to take 8-9 any time. I love the hand too, but it was behind. I'm glad Daniel's still with us, even though if all the all-ins keep doubling up, I believe we never end the event.
Well, that sure was. So
I'm just happy for Daniel.
Yeah, you're happy for Daniel.
Yeah, well, still four-handed at this final table of the Norwegian Championship main event 2014. And if this keeps up, we could be for quite a while. So Daniel, 10-9 suited. Here comes the shove, 4 million. Atle folds, option, queen 7. He decides to fold this time.
Again.
King deuce for Vegard in the big blind, and he folds. And there's a smile, yeah. Oh, was that a frown from your friend Norman? He doesn't look too happy right now. Is that just the way he looks?
That's the way he looks a lot, and you know he can change that frown into a smile with just a little effort.
So Atle Ulriksen, 13.5. Vegard Nygaard, 12.1 million. Option of Shami, 7.5. Then we have Daniel.
There you go.
Now, I might loosen him up.
Yeah, as you know, Atle has been extremely tight at this final table.
Ace-8 for option on the button. It's out. 800,000. That looked big. That might, I think maybe the blinds have gone up. I know it says 150, 300 up in the corner, but I think it might be 200, 400. Because Afshin has been min racing consequently now. This final table. And that champagne, I mean, I'm sure there's ice in that bucket, but...
Oh, it's gone at this point.
Yeah. So
It's just water now. They need to re-ice.
it's going to have lukewarm champagne served when we have crowned a new Norwegian champion here in Dublin. Ace-5 for Afshin. I can't see how many pink chips at the big blind from this angle, but try to keep an eye out for that. Once again, 800,000, so I think I can safely say that the blinds are now 200, 400,000, that is. Unless he's decided to mix it up. No, they are. That's 4 pink chips in front of Atle, which means that the blinds are 200, 400,000.
Would you prefer lukewarm champagne or ice cold red wine?
Oh, finally an interesting question, Andreas.
Yeah, I've been waiting a long